Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode in Oxygen Not Included. Today, we're starting a new series in the Systematic Factory. It is a cluster of asteroids in the Oceania cluster, and our first asteroid we're starting on is called Dampina. So, this is a slightly different world than the last one we did. Instead of the Terra asteroid, this one actually has a survival chance of probable instead of ideal. Still a pretty easy one, but it's going to be some different changes to biomes that we see and things like that. Our starting biome looks pretty much the same. We start with 3 pools of water in a, I guess this is the Terra biome, but let's check out our dupes that we got set up. I already went through and set these all up. I have a rancher that so we can get into critter ranching with, and I have a digger, and I have a researcher. Pretty standard start. I'm going to get started with digging out and setting up a base. I think what I'm going to try to do in this series for the first couple of episodes is to just get through the first 100 cycles. Our goal is still to finish all the achievements a little more efficiently this time, and so we're going to focus on getting set up for us to finish the carnivore achievement first, because that's the first of the limited achievements. Carnivore is limited by the fact that you have to get it done by the end of the 100th cycle. Locavore is limited by the fact that you can't plant anything until you hit 400,000 calories, and then super sustainable is limited that you can't use any of these generators, the coal, wood, petroleum, or natural gas, until you have gotten to 240,000 kilojoules of power. So the first thing we want to do is get our base set up so that we can, in the first 100 cycles, finish out the carnivore achievement. In order to do that, we're going to do a combination of Pacu farming and hatch farming, and we're going to try to do things pretty efficiently. So first thing I'm going to do is just get set up, and I'm going to do the basics. Set up a barracks and a latrine and a mess hall and all that for the basic morale, so that we can lead a pretty stress-free life as we continue on to build everything else. we have reached our very first printing pod decision. We've got the basics set up. We have a place for our duplicants to sleep, a place for them to go to the bathroom. They're still working on fleshing everything else out. This is where we're building our Great Hall. So let's see what we got here. Since we're doing the carnivore achievement, we sort of need to get as many people in as we can, as fast as we can, because we need mouths to feed in order to get to 400,000 calories of meat by cycle 100. I don't really want anybody destructive. I don't particularly want to deal with binge eaters, while that might be helpful during carnivore achievement if they get stressed out. It's no fun. This one's okay as far as those go, and I don't mind that they can't cook, because I will have them do something else. Same with doctoring, have them do something else. So let's take this one, and then we'll put them on their schedule. They'll be on schedule 4. They'll have a skill point to start. I think I'm going to make this one another, so I can either make him another digger, or I can make him another rancher. I think having another digger at the start is the better way to go. And then for their priorities, we'll set them up that way. So we're going to do building and digging increased, and then that's it for them. So they're not able to do doctoring. Okay, so they can cook, they just have a decreased cuisine. Got it. Okay, and we're gonna let that continue going on, and we're gonna finish building up the mess hall that will eventually become the Great Hall as we get the research done. Time for new duplicant number 2. We have Nails, which is either a person with good strength and cuisine, and increased strength. Increased strength is helpful because it gives you even more carrying capacity. They can't do doctoring, they can't do building. But our other option is Bonnie, who has an increased air consumption rate, which I don't particularly like. And they're destructive, which I don't particularly like. I think that I'm going to take this one. And then we'll move them to schedule slot number 5. So for their skills, we're going to just go with carrying. And we're going to make this person our basic, like tidying, supplier, storing duplicant. And then they can also do digging when they have nothing else to do. And that'll be their priorities. We're still finishing up the last little bits, but this base here is going to be our home for the foreseeable future. It's enough space to hold up to 20 duplicants in the bedrooms and in the Great Hall once it's done. Where the bathroom will handle them. Eventually this bathroom will be a have plumbed toilets in it, but for now it's just set up for this. I need to dig out the rest of it. And we're starting to put in the section down here that shows where this is going to be lined out. But this is going to be where I put my atmosuit docks later, and then they'll be able to get out to get up. And then I'm going to put another one on this side, and they'll go out and they'll come down. And that'll be the first way I have it set up. This is set up the way it is so that we have barracks bonuses for when they're sleeping. We get the latrine, which will eventually become the washroom bonus once they're plumbed toilets. And the this will be a great hall. We'll break this up and make it into a bigger room once we put some artwork in, but I have a square here for now to separate it into 2 mess halls because I don't have the artwork to put into it yet to make it a great hall. And then I have my food storage, which is building up carbon dioxide and making our food in a sterile atmosphere. The other thing is I left this room here. It's a 90 tile room that goes through and connects everything. And it's got these 4 plants in the bottom, which is why I picked to put our base right here. Once we put a park sign right here, this will become a nature reserve, and that'll give us a huge morale boost, and it'll get us probably into the mid game, but way through the early game. This water eventually will get pulled out. We'll make a pool somewhere more appropriate for them, but this area here around the printing pod is going to become like our item sorting area. We'll have a place where they put the items, and we'll have a place where they can grab water so that they can supply things inside the base. And that will be in the future. For now, it's just our general area. The research stations are all next to the printing pod so that we can get the bonus from the light, and the oxygen's being made in here so it can filter out, though it's not quite getting to the other side of the base. So I think I may put another oxygen diffuser somewhere. I think I can put it in here without it being a problem for now. We'll see if it interferes with the mess hall room bonus. It says no industrial machinery. I don't know with the changes if that counts as an industrial machine or not, so we'll find out. But we're going to finish putting all this together, and then we're going to start working on our food sources, which are going to go, our initial farms are going to go down here underneath the base. It'll be connected so that our ranchers can just get into it without leaving our base, which will be nice. We'll be able to make sure we have food coming. We're going to do a Pacu farm on this side, and we're going to do a hatch farm on this side, and then that will be the end of our startup base. All right, time for new duplicant number 3. Let's see what we get. We've got a couple of decent ones. Again, I don't really like Binge Eater or Banshee, but the rest of this would be okay. I've never seen that one before. Gains attribute bonus during meteor showers. That's interesting. I don't know that that would be super useful, but it's interesting. Decreased excavation is something we can get over with. That's fine, especially if I'm not going to make him a builder, or I mean a build digger, so that's fine. These would be all things I can handle. This also is something I could handle. I think I'm going to go with this one just because I like the stress reaction the best. I don't want to, if I do have stress later, I don't really want to be dealing with either of these. And this one has increased husbandry, increased agriculture, and some increased science, which will help them level faster. And so this can be, Otto can be our next rancher. So let's put them on slot number 6. Let's go to their skills. And we'll get them started on the farming track to get them to critter ranching. And then on priorities, we're going to want them to be doing ranching. We don't have any farming really, but actually let's put Lindsay on farming too. And then the other thing we want to do is decrease their building and digging, because we want to, the reason I'm doing that is because later on when we are doing building and digging far away from the base, I want to make sure they're the last ones to do it, because I want them staying around so they can do their ranching and their farming tasks. Okay, so that one's set up. We have the base pretty well defined here. I have a door right here just for now to let this oxalate get into the base, and then we'll seal that up. We're finishing up this area to get up to here. I want to get in here to start getting these Paku wrangled up once I get this area built. But we are starting to flesh out our Paku farm here. This is where that's going to be, and then we're going to move this water, and then we're going to have, on this side, we will put our hatch farm that will house all of our hatches, and then we'll be able to make barbecue, and we'll be able to make cooked seafood, and eventually, probably not in the first 100 cycles, maybe, we'll see, we'll be able to make surf and turf, which will be even better food source. So that's our goals. Up here, I'm starting to put out a space where I can set up some storage for our items, and I'm going to put a spot where I can keep it waterlogged so that anything that off gases doesn't off gas in our base, but that way we can just collect everything in one central storage place. And I think that that's it for now. I think we're going to call it for an episode, and in the next one we will focus on getting both our Paku and our hatch farms finished up and get us a good solid footing to go for the carnivore achievement. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.